Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, and more. Way too many to go through the list, but you get the gist of it. It's as large of a possible splatter zone for more hope and happiness. Why? Because there's so much talk out there right now that is not hope or happiness that I'm all about balance, trying to balance out all the bad news out there with good news. They say that good news does not travel well. Well, I'm about to prove you wrong because I know you're still listening. I'm so grateful. This is the number one 8 a.m. show in the Inland Empire on the AM FM stations. So something positive is actually creeping through and finding a nice place to settle. So I know that you're feeling good. And Christmas is over. Now we ramp up and go to our closets for some shiny stuff to wear at home during the pandemic for New Year's Eve. But you know what? I wanted just a minute of talk about how to stay positive even when you don't feel like it, and even when we thought it would be over in 3 months and 6 months and 1 year and then 1.5 years and now 2 years. And I'm pretty positive. Even I am at times wondering, when is this going to be over? And those are the moments where the rubber meets the road and you either bounce back into positivity or you sink down into the gravel. So I'm here giving you some reasons of why you want to bounce back up. Number one, it's for your health. It's very clear now that if you are depressed and frustrated and angry and hostile, it hurts your body's function, not just your immunity, but your cells' ability to digest your food, your cells' ability to regenerate, your cells' ability to work with other cells harmoniously. And that has been proven in medical science. Now, obviously, if you're still in conspiracy theory, you're not going to believe me even if I tell you this, but I'm saying that Dr. Deepak Chopra has done research on this. Joe Dispenza has done research on this. Many, many people will agree now that it's not just a theory, that a positive mind, a happy mind will lead to a happy body. So that's the first reason. The second reason is, honest to goodness, you are more beautiful when you look happy than when you don't. And so there's another reason for you to be more positive. And then the last one is it just plain feels better. So I know I feel better when I'm in a good mood. I know I feel better when I'm looking at the bright side of things. It's not easy. I'm not saying that this is easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But I'm telling you right now, this is the most critical time when you are so weary and so tired and so frustrated and aggravated and kerfunkled with this pandemic is the time to really use your most powerful tool in life, which is called choice. Choosing to have hope instead of despair will help your body, your mind, your spirit, and of course, it'll help you look better. So there's your happy 88 encouragement from Dr. Marissa as we continue. We thought we'd be over by 2022. We're not, but the light at the end of the tunnel is not that of an oncoming train. So there is hope. There is hope. There is hope. And if we can just not hang on, because every time I think of hang on, it's like, claws on chalkboard. Don't hang on that way. Hang on, take the breath, and just be one with what is. Meister Eckhart Tolle says there's 3 words that are the definition of happiness. And it's not love, peace, and joy. It's one with life. The better I can get pissed, get angry, get aggravated and frustrated, which is totally normal when we're told, now masks are back on, okay? Of course, you're going to be like, ah! And then, for me, I'm a law of attraction student, so 16 seconds, I'll literally go 16, 15, 15, 14, and down and not be mad past a second. This is for advanced. I don't know if you can do it. But then after that, I take the breath again. And then there are some alphabet soup solutions. TTSP. This too shall pass. And then INTBOAD. It's not that big of a deal. And then if there's money lost, this is one of my favorites. I just had an accident. I have a nice, healthy deductible, and I'm not thrilled about it. I work hard for my money. So $2,500 is not a little, but it's IJM. It's just money. And why do I tell myself these little alphabet soup pithy little things? Because it will take me down a notch from being so angry and take me down a notch from being so hopeless and in despair. And then it begins to balance me out. And here's the best one. I can't wait to see what good comes out of this. And what I do is I use those alphabet soup to soothe myself back into the good feeling, creative, innovative, positive individual that I am, that we all are. Some of us have just forgotten it for a little longer. You do not have to be Grinch. You do not have to be angry all the time. You do not have to be pissed all the time, because I'm telling you, I know you think you want to be alone, but you will definitely be alone if you are not fun to be around. At least that's how it is in my reality. I want to be around some fun people, and I'm sure you do too. But the buck stops right over here. So for this new year, I'm challenging all of you with a tool, a Happy 88 tool that I use. I've used it since July 1st of 2011. It's called the 21-Day Fast from Complaining. Yes, folks, this is the time to go to my website, drmarissa.life, and invest $21. You're donating it to my nonprofit, with the understanding that if you make 21 consecutive days from January 1st, 2022, for 21 days, you do not complain, except for day one. You're allowed to complain on day one. But for 21 consecutive days, if you do not complain, I will double your money. And right now, there's only 5 people who have been able to go through this that I know of that registered officially at drmarissa.life. So here's your challenge. Pandemic, no pandemic. It is possible to still feel good 88% of the time. And to help you with that, join the 21-Day Fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa. Okay? I actually started this fast that many years ago. We did every month. We would start at the first of the year. I went from 40 people to almost, I think, over 8,000. Then, my life started blossoming, which is really great between the book and the show, and something had to give. So the fast I only do now on special occasions. So the fast for New Year's obviously is a logical time. This might be your best New Year's resolution. Okay. 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. There's a hashtag on that. You can get more information. There's an entire playlist on YouTube. Every single day, I tell you how to be complaint free. That's a free subscribe on my YouTube channel. So 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. However, there is a warning label. There are side effects to this fast, right? Dieting fast. The side effects are you may smile more, laugh more, have better relationship. And I actually had someone write in, I'm having better sex. My husband loves that I'm complaining less. So there's the warning label. Hopefully it won't deter you from joining the 21-day fast from complaining. You can find that to register on drmarissa.life. If you join the mailing list, I am going to be sending out a happy zine with another Asian Oprah giveaway. Last time I sent one out, you got a free Mommy What Her Feelings book. I think I'm going to be giving away an audio book, so it might be 8 Ways to Happiness. So you'll want to go to drmarissa.life and register. And because I love giveaways, there's still time if you want to register for the giveaway and get $88 worth of stuff from my Balanced Marketplace, including the children's book and the Balanced Tai Chi Gong moving meditation and some original music and the 8 Ways to Happiness audiobook. You can still do so donating $28 at drmarissa.life. Okay? Now, when we come back, it is National Short Film Day. So you know what's going to happen. I'm actually going to show you my new short film called the PPP, Post-Pandemic Possibilities. And I'm so happy to tell you it got its first selection at the Bite Size Film Festival. So I have a laurel now that I can put on the film cover. So you get to watch for free this film when we come back here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, and FM 106.5. Streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you will get an alert every 8 a.m. in the morning weekdays that a new show's about to drop. And I have fabulous shows. I had interviews with Layla Ali and Corey Feldman twice, Don Wells from Gilligan's Island 5 times. So all of that is available for free on my YouTube channel, as well as my red carpet playlist, interviews with Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones. And I say those over and over again if you're listening because it's easy to remember and I don't want to leave anybody out. So just go to my YouTube channel and free subscribe and you'll get all of that and more. And as promised, here is my new short film called The PPP, Post-Pandemic Possibilities, and enjoy. It's been a tough, horrible, unanticipated, unprepared for, crappy year called the pandemic. But before we rush back to normal, a normal where there were a lot of overworked, underpaid, angry, frustrated, and depressed people who hated their jobs and lived for their weekends, can we consider a new normal? Take a breath with me. And consider a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities. What if conforming to the world was exploring the world? What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into, how many streets of life do you want to explore? What if there was another way to grow up believing in yourself so that you don't have to attend the school of hard knocks? What if the current push to do well in subjects that you are not good at, or choose a school that you can't afford, or to declare a major when you are still a minor in life are not the pressures that cook us raw? What if there was another career path where words like rat race and dog eat dog and climbing or clawing our way to the top are not in our career ladder vocabulary? What if big business control and imbalance resulting in people stuck in jobs they hate, contributing to dreams that are not their own, were BS belief systems that had to be called out? Like cookies that had to be deleted in our mind browser. What if the lesson in the pandemic is that the trajectory that we have been on needs a hard reset? What if the real virus in our society is currently structured to help a few and hurt many? What if we could say, help our own and help others in the same breath? What if we grew up with global patriotism instead of warring nationalism and not afraid of helping socialism? What if we were taught how to see past skin color and learn how to value others for who they are? What if you were taught how to value who you are, especially when value was not found growing up at home? What if I knew I was important without anyone telling me? What if I knew that I was of value so that I didn't have to go around asking people to appraise me? What if world peace started with an okayness with ourselves, who we are, and what we think in the imperfect, perfect persona that we splatter on this world? What if we learned self-care skills so that we wouldn't thrash about so much when we were in the middle of the dis-ease with life? What if we could care for others without hurting myself? What if we valued ourselves enough to take care of our own selves, our body, our mind, and our soul? What if we each took responsibility for our own choices and quit blaming others when we insist on dragging our past along with us as an excuse to behave badly? What if we learned relationship skills as soon as we learned addition, subtraction, and how to dissect a frog? What if we knew that all life was valuable, even when we disagreed on how people were living? What if we cut people some more slack when we know they should know better, but because of their own humanness, they temporarily missed a take? What if the purpose of life is not to die with the most toys to leave our squabbling relatives? What if the purpose of life was to do things that we enjoy most of the time, have relationships that we enjoy most of the time, and use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death? What if there is nothing to be afraid of? What if everything that happens to us is for our divine and best good, even if it doesn't feel good? What if death is not that big of a deal? What if the concept of death is not the hill we want to die on? What if tragedy is not really tragic? What if people dying in tragedy has purpose in releasing more love that we may have trapped inside our minds and our bodies? What if challenges that we face because of skin color or physical limitations or gender or our differences are all conditions that can grow and chisel and elevate us into the most magnificent of sculptures? What if I can turn every single bad, shitty thing that ever happened to me into rich fertilizer to birth and grow all of the potential that I was born with? What if life does not suck? What if I knew I was one of a kind wonderful, that I had a unique gift, talent, and ability to unleash on life one glorious year, day, month, and season of life? What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with the new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? Well, you can. You can rise. You can live in my what if. It just starts with choosing happiness, choosing to love this thing called life, and drop the rock of BS belief systems that have tricked you into thinking that you are not enough. Because all of this is possible if you choose to believe in you first and foremost. Because the buck stops right over here with you, with me, and with us. The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start with getting out of bed and making it. What if starts with you. Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa, broadcasting live from this thing called life, trying to get you to drink my rose-colored Kool-Aid and join my Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And I hope you enjoyed that film. If you are an organization that wants to come back to work in a way that is more positive, I show that film. I have some discussion guides. I'm also giving this film to any schools or organizations who have kids that want to think through the positive side or the hashtag COVID silver lining so that we return to a better place than where we left it in our organizations. All right. And when we come back, I have some callers for you with some questions about job and career. So don't go away. We'll be right back here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and of course my YouTube channel. And this is the number one talk news station in the Inland Empire. And thanks to you, this is the number one show at 8 a.m. for news. Thanks for continuing to be here. And yes, this is National Short Film Day. I hope you enjoyed my PPP, post-pandemic possibilities, that I just showed in the last segment. If you missed it, please go to my YouTube and you'll get to watch and listen there. And I hope you heard the themes. So when I show this film to high schoolers or your organization, we talk about those themes that stuck out for them, because this is an opportunity after the pandemic to value those things that maybe we didn't take a minute to look at because we were so busy running around. One of those things is the whole notion and the history and the habit of how we train our kids in school and force them into things that maybe they're not ready for. So that was the theme that I wanted to capture. Another theme I wanted to capture was the balance between capitalism and, I don't even want to say the socialism because I get accused of that. I'm not a socialist, but I am about balancing the getting ahead with helping. So if we can get to that balance without being afraid of helping, and not just helping in our own backyards, but helping everyone, starting with ourselves. Another theme is the relationships that we have. We haven't taken time to learn. We don't learn about relationships in school. We don't learn about how to get along and how to work with diversity and conflict in organizations. And then we have training by that time in corporations. People aren't really open. Their biases are so stuck in their craw that it's difficult. But if we started teaching younger about good relationships, wouldn't that be amazing? What if we could do that? What if we could change the way we see ourselves based on what we grew up with? And that's the fourth big theme that I wanted to bring you. What if the majority of us who have had child trauma don't have to think that there's something wrong with us? What if there's something right with us? What if childhood trauma is a way for us to chisel ourselves into greater and greater good and walking into the magnificence of who we are, changing impossible to I'm possible. Hopefully you heard all of those themes in that short film. Please contact me if you would like to distribute this, to take it to your organization. I'd be happy to speak with you about that. You can always book time with me at drmarissa1.youcanbook.me, and let's chat and make this new year one of what if possibilities. Okay? And to finish off today's show, I'm going to bring you a caller who wanted my take on something that Anthony Robbins brought to us of you are the 5 people that you hang around. So enjoy the question and the answer.
Hello, Dr. Marissa.
Is this Robert?
Yes, it is.
Yay!
How are you?
I am happy and grateful. If you could put your feet on the ground and your palms in your lap and gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and release through the mouth. Another deep breath in and releasing all the stories and the drama. And one more deep breath in. Connecting with me through chi, eternal energy. Eyes gently now open. On a scale of 1 to 10, could you tell me how your relationships are going? 1 is not so great. 10 is fabulous. Where are you on that scale?
That's tough to answer. I have a lot of valued friendships as far as love relationship, that's a really weak area right now.
So that
but-
sounds like we
but,
can go right there. let's skip the other
could
two.
go there.
Let's skip the other two assessments, unless you'd rather talk about job and career or health and well-being.
Well, I would be interested in talking about business entrepreneurship with you.
Oh,
if we
okay.
could.
Then let's do that. All right. So,
Okay.
what's your question?
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on the success that you've achieved with all of these high-profile events and all these celebrities and people of prominence that you have all these great interviews with.
Thank
and,
you. 谢谢.
I think it's terrific that you're an accomplished thought leader and influencer, and especially I'm also of Asian American descent, and there are very few of us who have really gained much traction. So I wanted to congratulate you for that.
You. 谢谢. What flavor of Asian are you?
Filipino.
Ah, wonderful. A lot of people think I'm Filipina because I'm a little darker, but I race sailboats, and so I'm out in the sun all the time. Yeah. But awesome.
Good.
So thank you for that. I appreciate that compliment and the acknowledgement. And how can I help you?
Okay. Well, there's an expression that I know that Tony Robbins uses, and just about every other life coach, et cetera. And it's this. They say you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Therefore, you need to hang out with billionaires and accomplished folks and the like, which on its face, okay, that's logical. Except when there is a great deal of what I call asymmetry, whether it's with respect to status, accomplishment, whatever you want to say, how do you... I don't see the practical way that you can translate exposure to people that we want to learn from and be around and connect with. To me, that's always kind of an interesting challenge, because if you go to an event and you're in front of someone of high status or high accomplishments, I'm not going to go up to them and say, what can I do for you, kind of thing. That seems to make no sense to me. So I'm interested in your thoughts on that.
Great question. So I'm going to give you, because I'm all about balance, both ends. So, and I will qualify. I don't actually say that. That's not one of my pieces of advice, because I'll be honest with you, the 5 people that I'm closest to are from a range of retired, no money, and beautiful, incredible. I love them dearly. I talk to her every single day. Okay. She's like my white mom. And she is, comfortable, but certainly not falling under Tony Robbins qualifications. And I spend I talk to her every day. So and as you said, I'm not unsuccessful, quote unquote. So it doesn't apply to me. I can count of the 5 people, 3 of those 5 people are, I wouldn't say, in that category. Okay. So it's not a guarantee. Now, on the other hand, I do have really, really awesome friendships with people like Layla Ali. Okay, so there's and Michael Bernard Beckwith. And they are on that end of the Piper Dellums, my new one. They are on that end, right? And I would consider almost everyone on the stage that was at Secret Knox, Brian Smith and Frank Shankwitz and Greg Reed, and they are my friends. Now, I only see them once or twice. Ryan Long, I only see them once or twice a year. But if I need something, I just ask them and they help, right? And vice versa. So the reason why that happened is because, and this is the point for you, is you think that you don't have anything to offer, and or you don't feel you're successful enough to approach people at that caliber. And that's a BS, a belief system that is keeping you from reaching the line that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm balancing it out here. So one, you can be happy and successful without having that level. And at the same time, you are important enough. And I'll tell you a little secret. The reason why I have a lot of where I am at is because I have no fear. I have nothing that says you can't talk to that person, or who are you? Now, that's not true. I have a lot of fear, but I don't listen to that voice that says, who do you think you are? Or you aren't important enough. If I see someone that I think is important and I'd like to get to know, I'll say, hi, my name is, and you'll say to me, yeah, but Dr. Marissa, that's because who you are now. No, I did that from the beginning. I started in grad school where I would go to conferences and I would go up to people who just got off the stage speaking and say, hi, I'm a grad student. I'm poor. I have nothing to offer, but I'd love to take you out for breakfast so I can get some advice from you. And 8 times out of 10, I had breakfast with that person. So you can do that too. I had little cards that made up that said starving grad student because I knew that I would only be as successful as the fear factor I could knock out of me. And fear stands for future events already ruined. And just to prove my point, there was like 3 people at Secret Knocks on stage who said, Phil Goldfine was another one, and I see him like 2 or 3 events, and so he recognizes me and we'll talk. And, he said from stage, people think that we're not accessible. Successful people are one of the most, I wouldn't say the most, but one of the most accessible people. So for you, I would stop having that block that you're putting in front of you. And in order to do that, I got rejected a lot. I got a lot of unreturned emails. I got a lot of unreturned phone calls. I got a lot of unreturned stuff, but it didn't bother me. I mean, it bothered me, but I was quick to let it go. That's a blisscipline right there. That is Michael Bernard Beckwith. I love that word. It's a blisscipline to say to yourself, and I'd like you to start saying this to yourself, I am a unique, beneficial presence on the planet who's loving, lovable, and loved, and I have unique talents, gifts, and abilities to offer on this planet. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be on stage or not, but I know I have a place on the planet to contribute. Everybody does. Every single one of us has that. And I'll share with you a story that I can't even remember, somebody very important in my life that I can't remember the name, said, whether you share a vibration from a flower on the top of a mountain where nobody can see you, or at the bottom of the mountain where there are crowds of people, it's the same vibration. So you have to be okay with your own unique talent, gift, and ability. Do you know what it is? Have you honed it? Have you practiced it? No matter what kind of reception you get on it, whether you get complimented or not. Have you picked up my book? Because there's a perfect tool in there called Baking Your Own Cake. From 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. Just lie to me and say you've already gotten the book, because if you haven't gotten the book, I'll be pissed. So you've gotten the book already, because you should pick up the book, because it's all the tools that you have just congratulated me on being who I am and having the success I am, because I used all the tools that I had in that book. So if you really, and I'll quote Greg Weed on this, you can want what everybody else has. Oh, I have this on one of my motivational cards. If you think the grass is greener on the other side, water your own lawn. So you got to water your lawn, Robert. You got to water your lawn. I don't want ever for you to look for a piece of advice that does not work again. Now, I'm glad that you did, because it launched us into this thing. But you're an analytical person, I have a feeling. And because you're an analytical person, you do have the ability to pick things apart. But picking things apart don't work unless you put it back together in another way. So for everything that you pick apart, I want you to find something that works and focus on that. And that little discipline will begin putting you into an attraction-based place. So right now you're attracting things that won't work, because that's where you are. That's a little bit of tough love.
Okay.
So I want you to begin affirming and assessing and practicing those things that you know do work. And the best way to do that is to practice those things that work. So the next conference you go to, I would like you to introduce yourself to 3 people who get off the stage and use that same thing. I'd love to buy you breakfast or lunch. Or is there a book that you've written that captures advice that I could use to improve my life? And I'll tell you, as soon as you say that, they're going to like you, because you want to buy their book. There's not one author that I know that doesn't want them to buy their book, right? So, and you're not manipulating. You're truly, I see that from, now I'm going to compliment you. You are a seeker. You are a seeker. You are constantly wanting to improve yourself. And that is one of your gifts. Not everybody does that. Not everybody wants to do that. And that will launch you into a place to receive more and more. I just want to call and smog check some of the BS, the belief systems that are keeping you from that attraction. So thinkers are normally, I think, therefore I'm screwed. Thinkers have this vibration that's a little bit heavy. So I want you to lighten up. Okay, put yourself out there, step out there, practice your smile. I practice speaking in front of the mirror 100 times. I practice shaking hands 100 times. I practice smiling 100 times, because I knew that I could sit on my butt and do the law of attraction. This is what I meant to say about Greg Reed, who's a big, a willingness without action is a fantasy. That's actually from a 12-step program. So, but Greg Reed will say you can sit and meditate all you want, or intend or say, I would like something. But if you don't act towards that, it's not going to happen. Now, let me qualify what he says with, because I have found that we can get stuck in busy action or pushing action or manipulating action. That is not good action. That's from a negative place. But if we're inspired to act, and inspiration is directly correlated with meditating, because you're clearing your mind and allowing inspiring thoughts to come in. Do you meditate?
No, I don't.
Okay, so there's another tool. There's another tool. And again, that's not tough love. A lot of people don't. But the good news is it's becoming more commonplace. And meditating has nothing to do with, levitating. Well, I mean, some people do, but all meditating is clearing your mind of the negativity that is a constant yammering in your head, and connecting yourself with the energy that is available to all of us, because we're all connected by energy. You know that, right? We're energetic beings.
Yes.
And that's not BS. It is BS. It's a belief system that I choose to believe, because I actually know that I am constantly a field of energy, and I can choose whether to be on a high vibrating disc. Abraham Hicks, those of you who are law of attraction, getting The Vortex. That's a great book to read. If you, I don't talk on the phone when I'm in the car anymore. I just listen to free YouTubes that Abraham and Esther Hicks put out because I enjoy feeling good. That's my whole purpose in life, is to feel good. Now people will say, oh, that sounds really selfish or, hedonistic. And it's like, well, I don't know. Do you serve people because it feels bad? No, you serve people because it makes you feel good. Do you create companies because you just want the money? No, I create companies because it makes me feel good because I'm creating. Joy is in the journey. Joy is in the creation. I want to feel joy most of the time. And so I want you to back up too and see what you think you want, this level of success. It is truly because you want to feel good. Yes? So
of course.
So I surround myself with people who feel good. Now, all of my people feel good. The people that I hang out with, 88% of the time. People like Greg Reed feel good because they love accomplishing, right? Now, Ryan Long feels good because he wants to serve, right? That's his big thing. Now, he also gets to, bring big people, and I get to play in that field because of our friendship. So I want you to turn your focus from success in terms of wealth and status. And don't get me wrong, I love those two things because it makes me feel good. But it is the feel good that you want to surround the 5 people. So are the 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with feel good people? Now that's the shift that I would like you to make, and see if that doesn't shift what you're thinking and what you attract to you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Yes. And then you try that for 21 days. I want you to start the day with 2 minutes of breathing and meditation every single day. Start your day with 8 specific things that you're grateful for. I want you to go to bed with 8 specific things that you're grateful for, and just do that much, and surround yourself and go to events and introduce yourself and see what happens. Let me know.
Okay.
Is that doable?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Do you feel like you can do that?
Yes.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm almost afraid of
I think that. No, well, one thing that I've always been curious about, I think that it's the real trick, is how to develop that rapport in an artful, creative way when you're meeting these folks. I don't have so much a problem with my identity. I'm not like, oh, I can't talk to that person because they're so problem. It's just I'm just really curious about the ways folks like you, with your success, have been able to do that. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah, beautiful. And if you'd like to work with me, I have a program where it's a short-term coaching where we actually find out what you're really good at and what your gift is and how to hone it and how to package it. So if you're interested in that, or anybody else that's listening, that's what you get to do when you come to the beach. Okay?
Great. I'll
Awesome.
keep that in mind. Thank you very much,
right.
Dr. Marissa.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Robert. And that was our second caller. Fabulous questions today. Absolutely. I could do this every single day, but then I couldn't do anything else. I love my call-in shows.
And hopefully you got something from that caller's question. If you want to hear more of my advice that I sometimes use, in spite of the name of my show, please go to my YouTube channel and feast on all of the question and answers there. That's it for show number 605. Shocker. But I am so delighted that you're still here. I'm so delighted that you are wanting to feel better about yourself, about the world, and about everyone. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from her living room during the pandemic, reminding you that it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Go forth and multiply the goodness that you are, and have the best day ever.